Oh my god, y'all. Excuse this hair, excuse me filming in my closet, and excuse this broke ass nail. Like, I just got off of work. Hi, bookworms. How you doing? It's your girl Jess back with another video. Um, how's everybody's January going? Mine's going well. Busy, new job, working everything out with that, which is why I have not put out more videos this month. I had ideas for this month that I wanted to do, and then I was just like, you know what, let me get acclimated to my work schedule first, because your girl's been out of work for almost damn near 2 years, almost the whole fucking pandemic, which is still occurring, but almost since the beginning of the pandemic. And so it's just kind of like, let's see what I have the bandwidth for, what ideas I can come up with, yada, yada, yada. And then I was just kind of like, you know what, let's take January very slow, because we don't have all day to read like we used to. And let's see, how many books we can get through, and, what our bandwidth is for as far as making content. So I think I have a pretty solid, good idea of what I have energy for after work, and what I can do, and what I'm available to do on the weekends, yada yada yada. So hopefully February will be a lot more content coming your way, a lot more content that I can put out there and talk about, especially given I am really excited for all the books I'm going to read this month in February. I know I say that every month, but who's not excited for the books they're going to read every month? Like, who's like, that's why you're here, that's why I'm here. We like to read, we buy books, and we're excited about the things that we get to read. Are we let down and disappointed a lot of the time? Yes, the fuck we are. But we power through, we get through to the other side, and we wait for the next month with a whole new batch of books. So February is Black History Month. So this month I am reading all books written by Black authors and about Black people in all different genres: romance, sci-fi, fantasy, literary fiction, women's fiction. We're gonna run the gambit, and we're gonna do the same thing for AAPI month, and the same thing for Pride Month in June. Let's talk about these books that I chose for the month of February for Black History Month. All right, so first book on my list is Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. Everybody and their mama on BookTube has read this series, absolutely love this series, and worship Talia Hibbert. And it's about time that I got on the fucking bandwagon. I have been wanting to read her books for a very long time. I just, other stuff starts catching my interest, and she just kept getting pushed back further and further. And plus, everybody in their, like I said, everybody and their mom has been reading her books, so I just didn't want to be another YouTuber, like, reading her books, despite how amazing I hear that they are. And I'm starting though, but I'm starting with her Brown Sister series, and with the third book in the series. From what I understand, the books can be read as standalones. They are connected. They're each about a sister and their romance with another person. The one that's always seemed the most interesting to me is the third book in the series, Act Your Age, Eve Brown. Basically, this is about the youngest Brown sister, and apparently she's emotionally immature, and is too grown to be acting the way she acts, or at least in her parents' eyes, her wealthy parents' eyes. And so they're just kind of like, girl, get your shit together, or we're cutting you off. And so the book is about her attempting to have some semblance of maturity and growth in her life, and falling in love with, from what I understand, her romantic interest is neurodivergent. I think he has like Asperger's, or a form of autism, from what I understand. I know there's disability rep in it, and I think it's with her love interest in the book, and that interests me as well. So I was just like, perfect, I'm reading this, lovely interracial romance during Black History Month. So Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert is on the list. Also on the list is the 5th season, The Broken Earth, Book 1 by N.K. Jemisin. I have heard nothing but amazing things about this book and about N.K. Jemisin. She is an African-American author who writes a lot of fantasy, and regardless of who fucking writes it, I'm not big on fantasy. And by big on fantasy, I mean I can probably count on one hand the number of fantasy books I've read in my fucking entire life. It's just never been a genre that interests me in any media, whether it's TV, film, or literature. But I I want to broaden my horizons. I want to expand my palette. I just, want to read and try different things. And I want to support BIPOC creators who span genres. And so I just thought I'd start with this. From what I understand, and from what I hear, if you've never really delved that deep into fantasy, that N.K. Jemisin is somebody that you should really probably start with. I don't know much about the book, so let me just read this quick Amazon synopsis. This is the way the world ends again. 3 terrible things happen in a single day. Ensign, masquerading as an ordinary school teacher in a quiet small town, comes home to find that her husband has been brutally murdered. Her husband has brutally murdered their son, and kidnapped their daughter. The empire, whose innovations that have been civilization's bedrock for thousands of years, collapses, and its greatest city is destroyed by a madman's vengeance. And worst of all, across the heartland of the world's sole continent, a great red rift has been torn, which spews ash enough to darken the sky for years. Ooh. Okay, this sounds dramatic as fuck, but interesting. Next up is The Prey of Gods by Nikki Drayden. Is Nikki Drayden a black author? I don't know. I'm going to have to find out. I think so, but I'm not too sure. I don't know. Either way, I wanted some sci-fi on this list, and The Prey of Gods, which I hear is amazing, is some sci-fi. And I think, the whole thing takes place in South Africa. Okay, let's see here. In South Africa, the future looks promising. Personal robots are making life easier for the working class. The government is harnessing renewable energy to provide infrastructure for the poor. And in the bustling coastal town of Port Elizabeth, the economy is booming thanks to the genetic engineering industry, which has found a welcome home there. Yes, the days to come are looking very good for South Africa. That is, if they can survive the present challenges. Ooh. It is up to a young Zulu girl powerful enough to destroy her entire township, a queer teen plagued with the ability to control minds, a pop diva with serious daddy issues, and a politician with even more serious mommy issues to band together to ensue There's a Future Left to Worry About. Okay, now I remember why I put this in my Amazon cart. Sounds fucking amazing. Sounds really good. I can't wait to read this. I don't know if Nikki Drayden is an African or an African American author. This book is listed under Black and African American fantasy fiction books and Black and African American science fiction books. Is there a picture of Nikki Drayden? Let's see. Okay, yes there is. Nikki Drayden is a systems analyst who dabbles in prose, but she's not buried in code. Awesome. Yes. Okay. Nikki Drayden is a female African American author, and she wrote Prey of Gods, which I heard is, really good and really interesting, and it sounds fucking fantastic. This cover is everything. It's like creepy and amazing. I love it. Either way, I'm here for it. It's on the list. Can't wait to read it. Next up, because you guys know I love me a graphic novel. I try to at least read one a month. Is Moon Girl and the Devil Dinosaur Volume 1, BFF, Moon Girl, and Devil Dinosaur. Okay. This is a Marvel graphic novel or comic? No, it's a graphic novel. Okay. I have no idea what it's about. The cover looked really cool. And I hear nothing but good things about it. So I was just like, okay, here for this. Okay. Lunella Lafayette is a preteen super genius who wants to change the world, but learn the hard way that it takes more than just big brains. Fearful of the monstrous inhuman genes inside her, life is turned upside down when a savage red-scaled tyrant is teleported from prehistoric past to a far-flung future we call today. The pair are many things, and together the most amazing Marvel team-up. Okay, that's a little black girl genius and a red-scaled dinosaur that gets transported to today, and they end up becoming like a superhero team. Oh my god, I love that. That's so ridiculous. That is so comic booky. I love that. I'm here for it. We're reading that. Next up, I believe, which is a collection of short stories, interconnected short stories about African American women. The Secret Lives of Church Ladies. If you know anything about black folks in America or anywhere else. Church is an integral part of our culture. Not mine anymore, as I have grown into an atheist since college, but it is very much a staple within our community. And so I was just really intrigued about there being a short story collection about, that being integral to these characters' lives. The Secret Lives of Church Ladies explores the raw and tender places where Black women and girls dare to follow their desires and pursue a momentary reprieve from being good. The nine stories in this collection feature 4 generations of characters grappling with who they want to be in the world, caught as they are between the church's double standards and their own needs and passions. That's enough for me. That sounds incredible. That sounds amazing. I can't wait to read that. I don't want to read anything further because I want to be surprised by everything that's happening here. Okay, next up we have a book I have been dying to read since it was released, since it, like, even a whisper of it was spoken. It is Razor Blade Tears by S.A. Cosby, who follows me on Twitter. And shares a lot of the socialist democratic views that I do as well. And he seems like a very smart, very sweet man. Very nice. But yeah, he liked one of my tweets about his book, about how badly I wanted to read it and how badly I want a miniseries adaptation of it with Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington. And after I posted that, he followed me because apparently he wants that too. But yeah, I have been dying to read Razor Blade Tears for so fucking long. I meant to buy it months ago, but like I said, I got to I'm a theme reader and a mood reader, and it didn't really work with any of my themes of last year or the last half of last year. And then I was like, I'll just get it in a giant book haul. But then February was coming up and I was like, oh, I will definitely fucking read this for Black History Month. So yeah, that's long story short, I got it. I'm getting it. I'm going to read it. I can't wait. My cats are fighting. Hey, knock it off. Anywho, the book is about Razor Blade Tears, from what I understand, is about a Black father and a white father who don't know each other, but their sons are in a queer relationship and married, and unfortunately they do get to know each other through horrible circumstances when both their sons are murdered in a hate crime. And the two of them just decide to band together and seek out, revenge, justice for their sons' brutal murders. And if you don't want to see Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington act that shit out, you're crazy. You know the minute I said that you wanted it, because I want it. I would love that miniseries. All the Emmys, I was about to say Golden Globes, but the Golden Globes are bullshit. But all the Emmys, all the Critics' Choice Awards, all the SAG Awards, that thing would clean up. I'm telling you. We need to all band together and demand that happen. Next up, I have another romance. I have Beverly Jenkins' Midnight. I like Talia Hibbert. Beverly Jenkins is somebody I have been dying to fucking read for so long, and I don't know what my problem is. I don't know what's taking me so long. But her book Midnight, along with a ton of her other books, which are in my Amazon wish list, I've been dying to read for forever. I quickly forgot what it's about, so let me remind myself and therefore let you guys know. Beverly Jenkins enthralls romance readers once again with Midnight, a heart story African-American historical romance novel set during America's turbulent Revolutionary War, a story of passion and dangerous intrigue. The notorious Lady Midnight, who's helping the rebels fight for a nation's independence from the British, with a reckless and dashing adventurer on a mission of personal vengeance. So we have an African-American romance during the Revolutionary War. She better not be a slave. She better not. Or, at least just freed or something. Because Okay. Next up, we have a book I have been dying to read for God knows how long, but I am too chicken shit to read it. I am Because I know it's going to wreck me. I know it's going to wreck me. I know I'm going to cry at the end, in the middle, and in the beginning. Like, I just, oh, God. But, yes, I've been wanting to read this next book for so long, but like I said, I've been too chicken shit to do it. And it is The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead. Oh, God. But, and I was putting it off, and then I was just like, bitch, if you don't read this during Black History Month, like, you got problems. So I was like, all right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna psych ourselves up for it. We're gonna get the tissues ready, and we're gonna read The Nickel Boys. When Elwood Curtis, a black boy growing up in 1960s Tallahassee, is unfairly sentenced to a juvenile reformatory called the Nickel Academy, he finds himself trapped in a grotesque chamber of horrors. Oh my God, Jesus. Elwood's only salvation is his friendship with fellow delinquent, it's in quotations, delinquent Turner, which deepens despite Turner's conviction that Elwood is hopelessly naive, that the world is crooked, and that the only way to survive is to scheme and avoid trouble. As life at the academy becomes ever more perilous, the tension between Elwood's ideals and Turner's skepticism leads to a decision whose repercussion will echo down the decades. God, that sounds heartbreaking. Based on the real story of a reform school that operated for 111 years and warped the lives of thousands of children. Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I fucking can't. I mean, I will. It's on the list. I'm going to read it, but I just, and the cover just looks devastating. Moving on to something a little more lighthearted. Something very much lighthearted. Another romance. How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days by K.M. Jackson. I have said this many times on this channel. I love Keanu Reeves. I love him. And other black girls loving him is just the business. I'm here for it. And books written about black girls loving him, I 1000% am going to fucking read. Okay, last book on this list is Island Queen by Vanessa Riley. I don't know what it's about. I just saw the cover, absolutely loved it, was here for it. And then Miss Ma'am, whose name I am so embarrassed that I don't know, but I love her. She's on Bridgerton. I'll put her photo up and her real name. But she's fantastic on that show, and I love her in interviews. She's just, she's such an auntie, man. She is such an auntie. But she apparently is adapting Island Queen and going to star in it. So I definitely have to fucking read it. Born into slavery on the tiny Caribbean island of Montserrat. Ooh, embarrassing. I'm sorry. Doll bought her freedom. Oh, her name is Doll. Ooh, I wonder what the backstory is on that, because you know there's got to be one. Doll bought her freedom and that of her sister and her mother. All right, miss. From her Irish planter father. Oh. Is her master her father? Oh, shit. From her Irish planter father, and built a legacy of wealth and power as an entrepreneur, merchant, hoteler, and planter that extended from the marketplaces and sugar plantations of the Dominica and Barbados to a glittering luxury hotel and Demerara. Demerara. Ooh, I think I'm butchering that. On the South American continent. Okay. Alright, so it's literary fiction, women's fiction, African American fiction about a freed slave woman who becomes basically a baller, yo. I can see why she wanted to adapt this and make this into something, because I watched the fuck out of this. Wrapping this up, those are my 10 books for February TBR for Black History Month. All about African American and Black and African characters, and written by either Black or African persons. So yeah, super duper excited to get to that and to talk to you guys about it at the end of the month. I will be doing my January wrap up very soon. Probably post that within the first week of February, probably by the weekend. Anyways, enough of the rambling. I'm tired and need a shower. I want all this makeup off my face. Love you guys very much. Hope you guys are having a fantastic beginning of the year. I hope 2022 is, turning things around for you if 2021 wasn't that great. And I damn sure know 2020 wasn't good for anybody. So I know everybody's got that year's over, but I hope your 2022 so far is going really good. Wash your hands, wash your face, get vaccinated, get your booster shot, and stay safe out there. Love you guys so much. Bye.